welcome back to my channel. I'm Florence Married. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great. So in today's video I'll be showing us how to cut and sew a versatile jumpsuit, attaching 1080-degree peplum to the round shoulder. Yes, before we go ahead with the video, I would like to appreciate all my subscribers. I say thank you all for your support. Thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting your girl. And for those of us that just joined the family, you are welcome. I appreciate you all. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I would like to, for those of us that have requested for a particular on my hairstyle, some of us requested for a particular coils, hairdo. Please, I will respond to your request. It has been a kind of tight schedule for me. Please, I will respond. And for those of us that requested for the sewing, some size also on my sewing tutorials, I will also respond. Please bear with me. Please, thank you all for your understanding. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. So without wasting much of our time, let's go straight to the video. So I have the fabric on fold, using the highest measurement to fold the fabric. I have the tie measurement. I'll be leaving the measurement on the screen. So I have the tie measurement, the hip measurement, which is 45, and the tie measurement, which is 30. The tie you divide by 2, which gives you 30 divided by 2 gives us 15, while the hip measurement is 45. 45 divided by 4 gives us 11 1/4. So I'll be using the tie, which is 15, because it's the biggest of the measurement. So I'm just trying to get a straight line on the side and a base where I'll be taking off my measurement. So the next thing I did was to take the hip measurement, which is the hip line, which is 9 inches. At that point I'll be taking the hip measurement. At that point I'm marking out the hip line, which is 9 inches. So I'm trying to connect the 2 points to have a straight line. The next thing is to get the depth crotch. The depth crotch, you use hip measurement divided by 4, which is 11 1/4. Will give us the depth crotch. But because this is a jumpsuit, I'll be adding 2.5 more to the 11 1/4. I'll be adding 2.5 inches to the depth crotch because it's a jumpsuit for ease. So at that point, I'll connect the lines. The next line I'll be getting is the knee line. From my waist to the knee is 22. So I will have a 2 points. I'll connect also and have a straight line. The next line I'll be getting is the length of the lower part of the jumpsuit, which is the full length minus half length. 58 minus 18 inches, which 58 is the full length of the jumpsuit minus half length of the upper part of the jumpsuit, which is 18 inches. So I'll be having 40 inches for the lower part of the lower part of the jumpsuit. So the next, I'm going in right now to input my hip measurement, which is 45 divided by 4, gives us 11 1/4. 11 1/4, add 1 inch to it. Then at the tie measurement, which is 30, we divide by 2. 30 divided by 2 gives us 15. I'm just trying to show that the thigh you divide by 2, while the hip you divide by 4. So the thigh, which is 30, divided by 2 gives us 15, plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So the next line I'll be getting right now is the waist measurement. I want to input the waist measurement. So to get the waist line, I will have to take the total measurement I have on the hip, both the hip line plus the allowance I have on the hip. I will take it up to the waistline. The total measurement I have on the hip, I will take it and mark it out on the waistline. Now I will connect that point at the waistline to the hip point to have a straight line. So now I'll be taking my measurement right from that line, right that way, the way you see me do right now. I'll be taking my measurement right from there. I'll place my tape right at the beginning of that, at the line, which is divided by 4. The hip you divide by 4. The hip is 38. You divide it by 4 gives us 9.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So now I want to get the curve at the crotch depth. I'm just extending the line to the thigh line. So I'll be going up by 2 inches at that line. So at this point, took the French curve to connect to make a curve, but this is wrong to do. I was in a hurry. I said let me just curve it, but I noticed that it's far from. I was supposed to take 1 inch. You take 1 inch at that point before you connect your curve. Please take 1 inch at that point before you connect your curve. The curve will touch that 1 inch that you come up with. Because if you cut it at the first curve I did, you will see it puffy. It will bulge out at the bottom. So you don't want it to bulge out. So that's why I have to take that 1 inch. You have to take the 1 inch to eliminate the puffiness down there. So to get the measurement at the knee, we need to get the center of this lower jumpsuit. We have to get the center. To get the center, we take the total length we have at the thigh, which is 16. Half of 16 gives us 8. You can just place your tape the way you see me do, the total length, fold the tape in two at the point you have the length, and half of it is what you mark out at that point. The total length at the thigh divided by 2, that's what I'm marking out at the knee length and at the ankle length, which is the length of the jumpsuit. So I'm trying to get the circumference of the knee. Which is 24. The circumference and the knee is 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. So this 12, I'll be sharing it equal on at the center point of that line, which means I will have 6 on this side, 6 on the other side, which will give us the total length, total circumference of that knee circumference, which is 24. The same thing at the ankle, which is 23. You divide by 2, which gives us 11 and a half. So that 11 and a half, you share it in between the center point of the jumpsuit. We share it 5 and a quarter this way, 5 and a quarter the other way. We share it equal. So I'm going it right now to connect my points, starting with from the waist, connect to the tie. I'm just connecting the points right now. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Support your girl. Support your girl, please. Don't forget to turn on your bell notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. You will have a lot to learn on this channel. A lot, a lot. I'm telling you guys. We do braided wigs, sewing, healthy lifestyle, name it, and a lot more. Yes, you can do a lot. Yes, I mean it. Subscribe to my channel, please. Support your girl. Let's move this ministry going. Let's move it. Thank you all. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you all. So the next thing I did, I'm sorry guys, I didn't know that the camera was not really, I was off the camera where what I was doing right there. So I went down at the depth brush, I went down ½ inch. I went down ½ inch. So I've cut it out, placed the front panel on the back to get the back of the jumpsuit. So you can see it's on fold, it's stood, it's on fold. So at that point, I'll be putting 2 inches or 1.5 inches, whichever one, whichever way you want it to be big. I use 1.5 at that point. So at this other side, I use the down part of the jumpsuit. I'm marking out 1 inch at that point. I took 1.5 and 1 inch down. So because I'll be adding a zipper to this jumpsuit at the back, I'll be adding the zipper allowance to the back part of the jumpsuit. That's why you see me, I'm taking 2 inches right there because I'll be adding zipper to it. I'll be adding zipper to the back panel of the jumpsuit. That's why I'm adding 2 inches. That 2 inches is for the zip. So you connect it down right there. Connect. So guys, the 1 inch I went down at the crotch at the crotch depth. I'll be cutting it off only on the front panel of the jumpsuit, because I went in and when I came down with by half inch, so I'm cutting it off. So I'll be replacing it at the back, which is I'll be placing 1 inch at the back, just at the back. I'll be replacing it going up by 1 inch, while at the front panel I came down by half inch just to replace the one I cut off at the front. Guys, that's it right there. That's the front and back of the lower part of the jumpsuit. That is it, guys. So we'll be cutting the front, the half length, the upper part of the jumpsuit. I'm just trying to show that pattern, that design right there. I want it to be at the center. That's why I'm just trying to show us, guys, because I wanted that design at the front. I'm just showing us that I wanted that design at the front. So the upper part of the jumpsuit is off shoulder. It's going to be off shoulder. So I'll be taking 5.5 inches away. So I'm trying to mark out 5.5 inches. That is the starting point of the front part of the upper part of the jumpsuit, because I will not be using the one at the top. That's why I'm taking out the 5.5 because it's off shoulder. So I'm trying to get the armhole. The armhole I will be taking 9.5. So I'm only cross-checking if I have 4 inches. I'm supposed to have 4 inches after taking off the 5.5. So I'm just trying to see if it's up to 4 inches. So that's what you see me doing right now. I'm trying to see if it's up to 4. You can see I'm trying to make sure that it's 4 inches. If it's 3 inches, it will be too tight. So 4 inches is always good for off shoulder to have it. When you add your off shoulder, the one you are cutting off, you are taking out, which is 5.5 inches plus the 4 inches, will give us the 9.5, which is not gonna be too tight. So I'm getting the armhole right there. Still placing my tape at off 5.5 inches. I'm taking the bust line. I will connect the points. Whatever measurement I'm taking, I'm ensuring that the 5.5 inches is off. That is why it is off shoulder. Ensure that it's off. So I'm taking my under bust measurement, which is 14 inches. This is just the part one of this. The part two will be uploaded soon. Go check it out to see how it is, how I finish up this jumpsuit. Thank you. And the half length, which is 18 inches. I'm just adding the 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'll be inputting the bust measurement, which is 41 divided by 4 plus 1 inches, 1 inch, 1.5 inch for sewing. I'll be doing same thing on the armhole line or the chest line. 41 divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. I'm inputting the underbust, which is 37 divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. On the same thing, I'll be doing the waistline, 38 inches divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. So I will connect the points. I'm just extending the armhole line up. So now I want to take the neckline. The neckline I took 6 inches, depending on how wide you want it. So I took 6 inches for the neckline. So I'm trying to see if I should add the off shoulder. I'm trying to see how deep it's going to be. So I noticed that at that point, 5.5, I only need 1 inch just to cuff the neckline. Just 1 inch is not going to be too open.